Oh my gosh. Welcome to Pizza Explains. We have a special episode where Pizza will explain Burns' Supper, Burns' Night, and Robert Burns. We're talking 430 degrees. Our Haggis, Neeps and Tatties pizza. Burns' Night is celebrated by around 9.5 million people worldwide, and I must admit I didn't drink all of this in preparation for this episode. Thank you to my good friend Bruce for gifting this to me many moons ago. And it did go into the dish we are preparing. People gather on the 25th of January to recite Burns' poem and celebrate the wonderful dish of haggis. Here we have it, pre-prepared, and it has the traditional casing. And also with Neeps and Tatties, or turnips and potatoes with a whiskey sauce. And the star of the show was made famous by Burns in his poem Address to a Haggis, which is recited on the night. So, Address to Haggis was one of his famous poems, and years after his sad passing, his friends gathered to celebrate his work and, of course, the humble haggis, made famous by Burns himself. His first major collection of poems, chiefly in Scottish dialect, was published in 1786 in Kilmarnock. The book became an instant success. It elevated Burns from his humble farmer beginnings to Scotland's national bard. And he was famous in his lifetime and has influenced many of the great writers of our time and his. Look no further than Auld Lang Syne to see his cultural impact. In Burns's day, fast-acting dried yeast was not available. It didn't exist, not until around Second World War. This itself is Wallace. It is a lievito madre, or yeast mother, and it gives rise to this 36-hour fermentation process for my dough. This slower process breaks down the enzymes and it makes it lighter, more digestible, and, importantly, hugely flavoursome. I have some of the best Scottish ingredients on show here. Mungo Wells organic flour that has been used in the dough. We have our Wallace wild yeast. We have McSween haggis, Scottish grown potatoes and turnip, Yester Farms Fior de Latte mozzarella, Macintosh's extra virgin rapeseed oil, blackthorn sea salt, and we have our whiskey sauce, which we used our Glenmorangie with. Also, Scottish double cream. I must admit that the mustard, whole grain, and Dijon is French, but the French and the Scottish have long history together, so I felt that was a-okay. Let's not forget the Uni Vault behind me. Uni is a Scottish company producing pizza ovens and so much more. Burns himself wrote in Scots English, a mix of both. Scots reflects that rhythm and humour and spirit of the Scottish people, and it made his voice universal and unmistakably Scottish. Here we have our dough. I'm going to drench it in some flour. One thing I like about pizza is that it is humble. It has very humble origins. Everyone can relate to it. And in terms of the haggis and Burns's address to haggis, there's a line that goes, and you'll have to excuse my bastardization of the Scots. Fair for your honest sonsy face, great chieftain o' the puddin' race. And the translation is there or thereabouts. Good fortune to your honest plump face, great chieftain of the sausage race. And we have, of course, our haggis. Pre-prepared, I must say. And it is delicious. We have our Neeps turnips. I've cubed these, and then I have lightly boiled them and then fried them with our extra virgin rapeseed oil. And I have our spuds, which I put as much cream and butter as I felt appropriate. To replace our tomato sauce, I'm going to be using the potatoes, the tatties. Have I ever done this before? No. Did I practice this? Maybe. Will it work? I think so. Who doesn't like carbs on carbs on carbs? We go for our Fjord latte from Yester Farms. All of these ingredients are from striking distance from Glasgow. And let's spoon our delicious haggis. I'm going to try to keep it in some decent chunks. It is naturally crumbly. Haggis might put some people off, given that it's offal, the innards and cooked in a stomach. And maybe, but it is a very, very traditional dish around the world, and Burns, of course, made it quintessentially Scottish. Here we have our Neeps. May as well use them all, hey? Now, it's just the challenge of moving it onto the peel. 1, 2, 3, happy days. Okay, so we're just gonna stretch this out. I always like to put a little bit more cheese around once it's stretched. You know what? I'm gonna put a little bit more haggis there, and a little bit more haggis there. Importantly, we have our extra virgin cold pressed rapeseed oil to replace our olive oil, and we have our blackthorn sea salt. Our whiskey sauce is going to go on once we have cooked our pizza. Give it a wee shake, good, we're not stuck, into our Scottish uni vault. Done. Now, it is a bit of a waiting game. I'm going to get you a close-up. We've got a little bit of time. We are starting to get some bubble. If you're wondering the temperature, we're talking 430 degrees. Say 2 to 3 minutes, maybe up to 4. Just going to loosen the bottom and try to give it a little spin around. The back of a pizza oven is always going to be hotter. I can hear it popping. I do like to get a good crust on the pizza, and the uni vault is perfect for that. And here we have it, folks. Our Haggis, Neeps and Tatties pizza. To finish, we have our whiskey sauce. Why not be generous? I was definitely generous with the whiskey. One thing left to do. Shout out to Ravenforge for their awesome pizza axes. And here we have it. Let's oh my gosh. Mm. Mm. It's really Moorish. I've eaten many Haggis Neeps and Tatties dishes in my time here in Scotland, and it has all of those flavours. I quite liked doing the neeps in little cubes. Gives it a slight texture change. The potatoes as a replacement to tomato I think works perfectly well. You do need to get a nice smooth mash. Haggis has such a moorish flavour to it, and the slight sweetness of the whiskey sauce really adds to it. The dough itself is, in my opinion, flavoursome just to eat as the dough. So here is my celebration of Burns. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like any detailed breakdowns or explanation as to some of these ingredients, please check out all the details below. Head to Finn's Pizza if you'd like to learn more. And thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to see something else around Pizza Explains, then please do hit me up. Otherwise, you'll have to leave me to it. Ooh.
Not enough.
I don't like boats, I don't like water. I'm a man, not a fish.
You complain endlessly.
You look like a woman, you stupid haggis.
Haggis? What is haggis?
Sheep's stomach stuffed with meat and barley.
And what do you do with it?
You eat it.
How revolting.